At the turn of the new year, the sky is red with blood, and everyone is becoming a beast. Cataclysm of heaven and earth. Is it a game of demons, alien invasion, or punishment from the gods? Chen, who had been living for 3 years, died and was unexpectedly reborn. He returned to the week before the popularization of animal culture. To make up for his regrets, he embarked on a bloody journey. Chapter 1. I'm back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah. Accompanied by a painful howl, Chen suddenly woke up. Discovering that I am still in the security room of a first-class museum in Yunhua City. Chen, did you have fun with your girlfriend yesterday? You can even fall asleep on duty. Old Zhang, who was in the security room with him, chuckled. Lao Zhang, you're still alive. Chen eyes were filled with shock. Pooh. I'm only 50, and I don't even have 3 highs. I hope I'll die. Chen clenched his fists and looked at the familiar scene. Is it difficult? Has it been reborn? Chen, he did die just once. Before opening his eyes, he was still a large crocodile turtle that had been surviving for 3 years. However, when he arrived at a ruins, he was lured and coerced to explore the way, and was suddenly trampled to death by a huge foot that fell down. Lao Zhang, what is the date of the month today? Did you feel foolish being squeezed by your girlfriend? It's February 4th. February 4th. So there is still 1 week left until the start of the Gregorian New Year. Is this a chance given by heaven again? Chen immediately took out his phone and dialed his sister, who was still in high school in her hometown county. When I heard that sweet voice, especially the sound of brother, tears of excitement were about to flow down. No, I can't make it back now. Remember, New Year, don't eat any meat indiscriminately. From now on, organize your supplies and find a safe place to hide. Wait for my brother to find you. The only concern I have now is my sister, who is dependent on each other after my parents passed away at the age of 15. At that time, the whole city will be filled with madness, and the safest way is to make her hide and wait for herself. He will never forget the time when New Year's Eve and the New Year turn. Amidst the firecrackers and fireworks, the sky suddenly turned blood red, like the end of the world. Some say it's a game of demons, some say it's an invasion of aliens, and some say it's a punishment from the gods. On that day, everyone became the last animal they ate. If you eat beef, then you will become a cow. If you eat donkey meat, then you will become a donkey. If you have a strong taste and eat grilled mice, congratulations, you are at the bottom of the food chain. When New Year's Eve ends, a sound will appear in everyone's mind, and everyone knows they will become animals. Everyone has time to prepare. This time could be 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. It all depends on how much hunger you can tolerate. Until you eat an animal. So everyone began to crazily capture powerful animals. The law cannot function at all. At that moment, the world collapsed. Only with strong strength can one survive. The world was in chaos, and Chen turned into a crocodile turtle. He tried hard to go back and find his sister, but lived for 3 years until he died without finding his beloved sister. Since God has given him a second chance, we must seize it. Chen Chuxin calculated in the middle, and his eyes had already gone through the glass of the security room to see the museum. Before opening his eyes, he transformed into a highly defensive crocodile turtle. It was on New Year's Day that he broke into a museum, smashed a crocodile turtle fossil, and swallowed it. Because at that time, there were no fossils left in the museum that could be utilized. If the opportunity comes again, then we can no longer swallow the fossil of the crocodile turtle. The defense is indeed strong, but in the end, was it not a huge foot of an unknown creature that crushed it into flesh and mud? Moreover, he knows everything about the next 3 years. After animalization, humans can evolve or merge. That is to say, if you have to eat both a pig and a chicken at the same time, you may become a flying pig. Of course, the chances are very small. Eating a certain animal alone, unless it is a powerful animal, can only lead to mediocrity. Before those exotic creatures, it is still a weak existence. The future is a sea of corpses and blood. Go, it is impossible to resist. In the extremely cold northern region, Thunder Overlord Wall-Libel. For an opportunity to evolve, slaughter the city directly. In the southern volcanic island, the fiery phoenix Anivia burns 3,000 miles for the sake of evolutionary opportunities. How can one survive without being strong? Chen Chu, what's wrong? Hurry up, the captain is here. Lao Zhang reminded. Like an instinctive reaction, Chen Chu stood up. You look relaxed. Did you sleep again when you went to work? A security guard can't do a good job. How can you do a good job? You can't do a good job. If you don't want to do it, leave me alone. Fan Datong, the security captain with a big belly, scolded. Chen Chu clenched his fists tightly, this bastard. Don't be complacent, after a week, you really turned into a pig. Fan Datong, in short, disliked Chen Chu and would insult him whenever he got the opportunity. The reason is that Chen Chu has a slender girlfriend who is 1.7 meters tall. And he, in his 30s, was rejected 36 blind dates due to his pig-like physique. Fan Datong directly entered the security room, and then Lao Zhang gave up his seat and said, Captain, sit here. What about you? Why don't you quickly pour me a glass of water? You don't even have a glance, you're as stupid as a pig. How did you find your girlfriend? It's okay if we don't mention it, but whenever we mention Chen Chu, we get angry. Isn't it the seduction of that beautiful girlfriend who lured me to the ruins back then? Although by that time she had already turned into a rabbit. The one who deceives her is her girlfriend, and the one who coerces him is one of the major forces in the future. Fan Datong frowned and said, What's wrong? I asked you to pour a glass of water, why are you still clenching your fists? Chen Chu smiled and then went to pour a cup of hot water. Captain, I'll treat you to a drink. Fan Datong chuckled and said, Isn't that close to? Ah. Before he could say the last word, Chen Chu directly poured a cup of boiling water on his face, making him let out a pig-like howl. It's really enjoyable. Stinky kid, you're looking for death. Lao Zhang panicked and said, Oh, Chen Chu, what are you doing? Die. I won't die again. It's you who's going to die. Grass. Do you believe that I asked you to leave immediately? No need. I won't do it anymore. Chen Chu took out 200 yuan from his body, threw it directly on his face, and walked out of the security room. Looking at the entrance of the museum, the treasure of the museum, the Tyrannosaurus rex fossil, has already appeared in my mind. Since it has been reborn, then let's become stronger. Tyrannosaurus rex fossil, not enough. What he wants is all the fossils in the museum. Those who coerce and deceive themselves will not come to a good end. In the sea of corpses and blood in the future, I must become the strongest existence. In this way, we can find our sister and protect our beloved things. Chapter 2. Meets My Desire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Chu returned to the rental house, his mind already beginning to calculate. My younger sister is very obedient, so I believe she has already done it according to her own requirements now. What we need to think about now is how to obtain fossils from museums. Chen Chu has some understanding of the huge events in the next 3 years. He knew that even if he had won the fossil in the museum, it would not be the strongest. The king coming out of Shenangjia. The white snow monster king of the Himalayas. However, it is already February 4th and there is not much time left. Now is the time for spring festival travel again. If you want to go to those places, it will take at least half of the time, and the remaining half, then you need to take luck. Because although I know where the strongest beast has emerged, I don't know exactly where it is. After finally reviving it, we naturally cannot use this precious opportunity to gamble on luck. Tyrannosaurus Rex was the last incarnation of the director of the Yunhua City Museum, ruling the surrounding neighborhoods for half a year. As long as you first occupy the strongest position, you can rely on your own advantages to gain opportunities for evolution. Disaster strikes, almost every month, a huge upheaval occurs in the world. This kind of change could be a volcanic eruption, a glacier collapse, or a tsunami eruption. After every incident, there will be tremendous energy, and even some places that people do not even know. Some scholars and experts believe that people have never recognized this planet. On the surface, it looks like a circle, but there is hidden folding space inside. Various disasters have opened up this folding space. After the folding space is opened, what emerges is called energy, or spiritual energy. In these places, something that can evolve beasts may appear, such as a stone containing spiritual energy or a strange little flower. Chen Chu closed his eyes and carefully recalled all the possible changes in the future. If you don't want to think now, then there won't be too much time to think more in the future. Unconsciously, the door to the rented house opened. A beautiful woman wearing a beige tight windbreaker walked in, with a standard melon seed face and a big orange wave. This is Chen Chu's girlfriend, Lu Mengran. Hey, aren't you working today? How did you come back? Captain Fatty Pig asked me for help again, and I poured a glass of hot water on his face and he stopped working. Lu Mengran widened his eyes in surprise and said, "Are you joking? This year during the Chinese New Year, you can earn 3 salaries by guarding the museum. Hehe, go to Temo's 3rd salary. Disaster is imminent, what is 3 wages? Lu Mengran saw him not speaking and said, "What do you mean? The Chinese New Year is coming soon, and I was thinking about not going back this year and giving more money to my family." Chen Chu sneered, "Is it related to me to give money to your family? Are we not married?" Lu Mengran was really shocked this time. Usually, Chen Chu is always obedient to himself. What's going on today? Did you take the wrong medicine? You. What are you? Hurry up and cook. Ah. You want me to cook? Who will do it if you don't do it? Chen Chu was a bit angry. Before being reborn, I really doted on Lu Mengran. I thought I had gained a love after my family relationship. But what it brings to oneself is unforgettable pain. He couldn't forget the feeling of being actively held and played with by that brown bear after Lu Mengran turned into a rabbit. He couldn't forget that Lu Mengran tricked himself into becoming cannon fodder, causing him to lose his life. Bang, with one punch, he hit the table directly. In the future, Lu Mengran can betray anyone in order to live. She deceived herself, but not the culprit. The culprit is one of the future great powers, the wild beast Hall. Due to Chen Chu's amazing defense, he was forcibly hired. Let him use various relics as cannon fodder. Are you crazy? Lu Mengran shook his bag. Did you take gunpowder? Chen Chu stood up and stared at Lu Mengran, causing a hint of panic in her heart. Could it be that I secretly dated my leader and was caught? Yes. I just took gunpowder. Not killing you is already my last mercy. Chen Chu is very violent, tearing at her clothes. Lu Mengran began to resist, and then felt an unprecedented stimulus, so he complied. Chen Chu is like a wild beast. 40 minutes later, he got up from bed and said, "I'll order takeout." "Humph, do you know you feel sorry for me? Don't let me cook anymore. You were too violent just now." Chen Chu chuckled, "Violent. The future is not just about violence. Moreover, it may be difficult to engage in such physical and mental pleasure in the future." After a day had passed, Chen Chu began to lie down at his desk and record in detail the places where some changes had occurred, and then let himself remember them in his mind, not to forget. The next day, we had already started planning to collect fossils. Unexpectedly, Lao Zhang's phone suddenly rang. "Chen Chu, the captain said that as long as you compensate for the medical expenses, you will be sent to work. Medical expenses. Didn't I give him 200 yuan? Oh, Chen Chu, how can 200 yuan be enough? This is your chance to keep your job. Think about it, how difficult it is to find a job now. At the end of the year, many people want to go back to celebrate the Chinese New Year, but there is a shortage of manpower. You should come back. Chen Chu sneered. Isn't it just being alone, with only a girlfriend from Yunhua City? Every year, it's him who stays behind at the museum, as well as some people without backgrounds. Everyone else has gone back to celebrate the Chinese New Year. For oneself, staying at a museum provides a greater opportunity. The first-class museum in Yunhua City contains many precious cultural relics and animal fossils. Strict defense and various security measures. To prevent those criminals from stealing during the New Year when no one is around. There are precedents for this kind of thing. In the afternoon, Chen Chu went to the museum's security department. Fan Datong wiped ointment on his face and said, Chen Chu, Chinese New Year is coming soon. I have a lot of money, so I won't argue with you. You can compensate for the medical expenses of tens of thousands of yuan, and let's forget about this matter. How many tens of thousands of yuan? Hee, do you want tens of thousands? You can handle it as you please. Chen Chu went to fetch a glass of water. After seeing it, Fan Datong instinctively straightened his body and held a book in his hand, ready to block it at any time. Hiss. Chen Chu took a sip and said, Captain Fan, don't be so nervous. I won't splash you again. Don't give you a chance to not cherish it, and in the end, hide under the covers and cry, Fan De said, his neck getting thicker, if you don't cherish it, then don't cherish it. Anyway, the security guard has me as one. Grass. Fan Datong cursed inwardly, he was really one less. New Year's Day is only a week away. Those who return to go home will ask for leave if they have the ability. It doesn't matter how many people stay here. Bring Chen Chu with you, there are enough people to stay at the museum during the New Year. This kid must know this, that's why he's so bold. Then let's. Chen Chu threw away 1,000 yuan and said, do you want it or not? Don't think I really value this security job. Don't waste it. His mother, I will deduct your salary when you go to work and watch me catch you. Okay. You've been working night shifts since then. Chen Chu grinned and said, it fits my taste. Chapter 3. Plan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Working the night shift is not very impressive. Especially during the Chinese New Year, one should not play outside with friends. But for Chen Chu, it's simply an excellent opportunity. That evening, Chen Chu entered the museum wearing security clothes, carrying a baton, and holding a flashlight. Cultural relics and the like, just ignore them. What he needs is animal fossils. I worked as a security guard in the museum for 3 years, but I haven't had much interest in these things. Anyway, it's not a major in archaeology or anything like that. Now, he is approaching these animal fossils with a learning attitude. As soon as you enter the museum, you will find the treasure of the town, the Tyrannosaurus rex fossil. Up to 5 meters high, with a body length of over 10 meters. Every person who enters the museum for the first time will be amazed when they see this Tyrannosaurus rex stone. Chen Chu's mind had already thought of the director's brave and domineering posture when he transformed into a Tyrannosaurus rex. This time, it's my own. At the foot of Tyrannosaurus rex, there is a card that tells the story of its era, characteristics, and more. Chen Chu carefully examined it all. Tyrannosaurus rex, also known as Rex, lived in the Maastrichtian stage of the late Cretaceous period. The end of the Cretaceous period, approximately 68.5 to 65 million years ago, was one of the last non-avian dinosaur species before the Cretaceous Tertiary extinction event and one of the latest extinct dinosaurs. Ancient seeds. Chen Chu felt uplifted in his heart. In the future, different types of animals will emerge. Firstly, there are common breeds, such as chickens, ducks, pigs, and dogs. Secondly, there are mutant species that exhibit various animal fusion characteristics, such as flying pigs. Afterwards, there are special species, which are very strong species, and some may experience atavism. For example, an evolved tiger may return to its ancestors and become a saber-toothed tiger. Once you successfully return to your ancestors and become a saber-toothed tiger, then you belong to the ancient species. Ancient species, powerful representatives. Invincible in the early stage. As long as we can seize the opportunity of evolution, we can continue to be strong. Afterwards, there is also the fusion seed, full of mystery. Finally, there is the more powerful species, the mythological species. Mythical species, encountered but not sought. Chen lived for 3 years without ever hearing of the emergence of mythological species. Reaching out to touch the sturdy bones of Tyrannosaurus rex, you will soon be a part of my body. The rhinoceros with fur on it is too weak, don't do it. 3-toed horse fossils, herbivorous, I don't want to eat grass. No. A true crocodile turtle. Chen walked up to the fossil of the real crocodile turtle and stopped. Because before his rebirth, he obtained a fossil bone from it, smashed it into powder, and ate it. Transform into a large crocodile turtle. About 15 million years ago, it can also be considered an ancient species. However, apart from high defense and stronger bite force, there are no advantages. Can only serve as a meat shield. But in the end, Chen still wrote it down in a notebook. Because he doesn't just want this ancient species of Tyrannosaurus rex, but rather a more mysterious fusion species after the ancient ones. Chen walked through the fossil area and was often overlooked. Finally, in a booth, a fossil the size of a thumb cap was seen. The sign reads, Fossil Water Bear Worm. This thing also has fossils. The body size of water bear insects is extremely small, with the largest being only 1.4 millimeters. It can only be seen with the help of a microscope. I don't know if the fossil of the water bear insect in the museum is real, or if I just randomly found a stone to make up the number. Anyway, it's not visible to the naked eye. What people who come to museums usually see is a stone the size of a fingernail. Chen thought for a moment, but still wrote it down in his own notebook. After all, it appeared in the Cambrian period 500 million years ago. If it can be preserved until now, there is naturally something amazing about it. Over the course of one night, Chen had already recorded over a dozen fossils he needed in his notebook. After work, Lu Mengran returned to the rental house but did not come back. Chen went online directly and found more detailed information. Finally, out of a dozen or so animal fossils, only 5 were left. That's Tyrannosaurus rex, true crocodile turtle, and water bear beetle. The other 2 were found in unknown fossils in the fossil area. Those are all remnants of animal fossils, too far from the age, even experts cannot distinguish what animal they are. Chen felt very confident, so he stayed behind. There is a chance of fusion between species. The weak will be directly masked by the strong animal genes. In short, no matter how difficult it is, one can still become an ancient species. Time is getting closer day by day. Chen has secretly hidden all the necessary tools under the chair in the security room, under the cabinet February 11th. Tonight is New Year's Eve. Lu Mengran is on vacation and has bought a bunch of things for tonight's New Year's Eve dinner. Chen I bought a lot of things tonight, and my favorite dish is braised rabbit head. Chen got up from bed, it's really ridiculous. He bought your favorite food, why don't you ask me what my favorite food is? Braised rabbit head in brown sauce, you deserve to turn into a rabbit in the end. Stop eating, go to work. Why don't you go after eating? Accompany them. Chen just sneered and walked out the door. From now on, everyone has their own destiny. The wind outside is blowing loudly. On the street, you can still see several children stealing fireworks. It's about to start soon. Step onto the electric bike and drive towards the museum. Chapter 4. Dry this bowl of chaotic stew soup. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Along the way, there were red characters for happiness, couplets, and red lanterns everywhere. Electronic fireworks appeared on the large screens of various high-rise buildings. Full of a strong festive atmosphere. But Chen knew that it wouldn't last too long. Arrive at the museum. There are a total of 5 people on the night shift today, including Chen. In order to ensure the safe implementation of his plan, Chen specially prepared coffee for them. After brewing in the security room, the hidden sleeping pills were crushed and melted into coffee. The other 4 people were all in the surveillance room, watching the Spring Festival Gala while eating their own food and drinks. Come on, it's a long night. Please have some coffee. Yo, Chen is so generous. Damn it, everyone is reuniting for the Chinese New Year, and only a few of us are forced to stay here. Who left us with no way out? This is the way it is in this world. Drink while it's hot. The 4 people who drank coffee then collapsed one by one. Turn off all monitoring and alarm measures. Chen took all his tools and entered the museum. Buzzing, the chainsaw was pulled open, and a wave of saws hit the leg bones of Tyrannosaurus rex. Fossil powder keeps flying. My thighs are about to be sawed off. The huge Tyrannosaurus rex stones are all on the verge of collapse. The 2 thighs of the Tyrannosaurus rex fossil are strong support points, and if they break, they will definitely collapse. Chen chainsaw passed by and then instantly rolled on the spot. Wow! The support point was abandoned, and the Tyrannosaurus rex fossil collapsed with a loud bang, falling to the ground in fragments. Chen took a saw and cut off a piece of the real crocodile turtle. He also collected the water bear insect fossil and 2 other unknown fossils and placed them in a large iron basin. Hold the hammer and smash the fossils into powder, then add water and ignite the fire. As time passed by, a gurgling sound came from within the iron basin. At this moment, a Passat had already parked at the entrance of the museum. Fan Datong got off the car holding a portion of pork chops in his hand. What's going on? Is it black? Then, a hint of a smirk appeared on his face. Hee, Chen if I catch you slacking off, you won't want 3 salaries. Fan Datong, he deliberately came to find Chen Enter the security room, no one is there. Then I went to the surveillance room and found that all the equipment had been turned off, and 4 security guards had fallen asleep. No matter how you call it, you can't wake up. Fan Datong immediately felt something was wrong. Throwing away the pork chops in his hand, he ran towards the museum with a baton and a flashlight. As soon as I entered the door, my flashlight flickered and I almost collapsed on the ground in shock. The treasure of the first-level museum in Yunhua City, the Tyrannosaurus rex fossil, has collapsed with a loud bang and is in pieces. Chen is actually sitting on the ground, cooking with an alcohol stove. Grass. You bastard, what have you done? Cooking, haven't you seen it before? Bastard. You've destroyed such a precious thing, you're done. After speaking, he took out his phone. As a young leader, there is an alarm system on his phone. Chen naturally cannot let him succeed. Grab the hammer at hand and throw it directly. With a loud bang, it hit Fan Datong's arm and his phone fell to the ground. How dare you take action against me? I didn't hit you on the head, you're already very lucky. Bastard. I've been holding you for a long time. Today, I'll show you my prowess. Fan Datong rushed forward with a baton in his hand. Chen pulled the chainsaw and let it hum around. Fan Datong's footsteps stopped. This kid, you really want to play? That's right, the treasure of the town hall has been destroyed. It's strange that this kid doesn't risk his life. Why didn't you come? Fan Datong threw his baton at Chen Chu's head, then turned around and ran without looking back. Chen Chu picked up the chainsaw and directly blocked it. Look at the time, it's not time to chase him yet. I didn't expect him to come over tonight. It seems that it is because after being reborn, I disrupted a part of the sequence of things. Damn it, the alcohol stove stews too slowly. Check the time, it's already 11:57 p.m. The popularization of animal culture is about to begin. Fan Datong snorted back into the car and said, "Oh no, my phone dropped from the museum." Angered, it hit the steering wheel. It seems that we can only drive to the police. Suddenly, a voice appeared in my mind. The popularization of animal culture has begun, and after today, everyone will become the last animal you eat. Fan Datong looked around cautiously and said, "Who's talking?" Not only him, but also over 7 billion people in the world have this sentence in their minds. Countless crowds have gathered in various squares, holding fireworks sticks and staring at the upcoming New Year countdown on the big screen. I don't take that sentence to heart at all. At a certain hotel, people eating New Year's Eve dinner. What's going on? Did I have an illusion after drinking too much? Whatever, keep drinking. In the museum. Chen Chu stood at the door with a bowl of fossil stewed soup. After cooking this bowl of chaotic stew, I will no longer be human in this life. Throw the lighter directly onto the ground. Bang, the fire line has spread all the way to the museum, all the fossils. Chapter 5. The Humanized Tyrannosaurus Rex in the Present World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Chu poured all the gasoline he brought onto the fossil, waiting for it to be finally ignited. In this region, only one king can appear. Fan Datong had already started the car, and then he saw the dark sky, which turned blood red. Oh my goodness! What the hell is going on? In the square. The countdown to the new year has already appeared. A young man looked up at the sky with a surprised expression on his face and said, "You guys, look at the sky. Red has become the main color at this time. Let the whole earth be stained with a layer of blood." Thunder roared and lightning exploded. There's an anomaly in the sky. Damn it, lightning is always red. Is it difficult? It's because of that sound just now. We're all going to become animals now. How could it be? The new year is coming soon, hurry up and shout the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Ah. A woman let out a scream because her deer had turned into a chicken. Afterwards, screams kept coming and going. On the vast square, people are turning into animals. On the road, the person driving turned their hands into hooves, tong, tong, car accidents occurred one after another. The sound of collisions, explosions, and screams kept appearing in this city. How many people are happily watching the Spring Festival Gala at home? Then a strange scene appeared on TV. Those glamorous actors turned into chickens, ducks, fish. In front of everyone's eyes, ah. Dad, Mom has turned into a donkey, it's so terrifying. Moo. A cow appeared in the bedroom. Fan Datong suppressed his unease and then shifted gears while driving. How did my hand turn into hooves? Looking at my face in the rearview mirror, it turned out to be a pig face. Ah. It's impossible. Click, a red lightning bolt appeared above the museum. Chen Chu threw the bowl in his hand onto the ground and it shattered. My skin was turning red all over, and there were bursts of white smoke. Ah. Chen Chu's face was painful, and his body was constantly growing stronger. She-la, clothes, all torn apart. A giant creature that stands 4 meters tall and 10 meters long has already given birth. Ow. With a roar, a blood moon in the sky was already reflected in the dark golden pupils. Chen Chu, the successful change is for Tyrannosaurus Rex. In my mind, a panel has already appeared. After humans become animals, this type of panel will appear in everyone's brain. Type. Fusion type. Name. Tyrannosaurus rex. Level. Juvenile body. Power. 4 tons. Speed. 20 kilometers per hour. Life expectancy. 10 years. Evolution value. 0/1000. Talent. Strongest bite force of 8 tons, unknown, 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 unknown. Chen took 2 steps and stood in front of the glass, looking at his current appearance. A tall figure with a ferocious face. Especially with a grin, the 60 sharp teeth inside were chilling. This is much more impressive than the crocodile turtle image in previous lives. Especially, I have fulfilled my wish this time and become a fusion seed. The main difference between fused and mutated species is their appearance. The appearance of mutated species will directly appear different from other animals, but fused species will not show up on their appearance. But it shows through subsequent evolution and is still controllable. The only downside is lifespan. The lifespan of Tyrannosaurus rex is around 25 years. The Tyrannosaurus rex fossils I ate seem to have lived for more than 10 years, with the remaining lifespan remaining at 10 years. In my past life, I transformed into a crocodile turtle and still have a lifespan of 300 years. Looking at one's own talent, this is the mystery of the fusion seed. Before reaching evolution, the remaining talents are unknown. Now, what can be known is the strongest bite force. What is the concept of the strongest bite force of 8 tons? In one bite, it's equivalent to the weight of 8 sedans. How can ordinary animals tolerate it? Sister, wait for me. Brother will go find you soon. At the same time, the world has become chaotic. Vehicle collision, train overturning, plane crash. The popularization of animal culture has just begun, and half of the world's people have already transformed into animals. Yunhua City. Some have also recovered from the shock. The world is going to change greatly, and everyone will become an animal, so we must become the strongest animal. Fortunately, humans who have not transformed into animals have begun to focus their attention on places such as zoos and museums. It's better to become a lion or a tiger than a chicken, duck, fish, or dog. Some of the survivors closest to the museum immediately brought the tools they could use. A Buick made an emergency stop and arrived at the museum. Fan Datong, who had turned into a pig, saw it and directly knocked open the car door. Curator. Curator, help me. The person who came here is the director of the Yunhua City Museum and the transformator of the previous Tyrannosaurus rex. Are you? Fan Datong. Curator, that kid Chen has destroyed all the fossils. The curator took out a somewhat old hunting gun from the trunk of the car as he saw the increasing flames inside the museum. Tyrannosaurus rex fossil, it's mine. Chapter 6. Obtaining evolution values. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. One person and one pig entered the door, and then they saw the huge Tyrannosaurus rex. Fan Datong was so scared that he just made a pig pee on the spot. The curator was even more surprised as his mouth grew larger. Originally, my own ideas were right. Everyone can become the last animal to eat, which is actually the fusion of animal DNA. The Tyrannosaurus rex fossil is feasible. You surprisingly used my Tyrannosaurus rex fossil. Chen looked at him with a condescending gaze. In the previous life, he was the incarnation of Tyrannosaurus rex, but now he has been occupied by himself. It's too late. All the fossils are already in the sea of fire. Why are you doing this? Get out of here. Ow. With a roar, full of majesty, Fan Datong collapsed to the ground under the suppression of his blood. The curator directly loaded the chamber and fired a shot at Chen. Bang, flames burst forth. The bullet hit his massive body. But it just hurt his skin. Chen Chu turned around and swept his tail lightly. With a bang, the curator was swept a few meters away by a tail. Hee, you fell down before I exerted any force. The curator's body rolled down on the ground, and his bones seemed to be scattered all over. Tyrannosaurus rex, indeed strong, running out with huge strides. In memory, numerous crazy people and animals will soon appear in the museum. Don't leave. Tyrannosaurus rex, it's mine. It's mine. The curator got up and grabbed the gun, reloading and shooting repeatedly. Chen Chu ran in an S-dot shape, directly causing his bullet to miss. My current running speed is only 20 kilometers per hour. The curator looked at the museum, which was already in flames, and then gave up entering and chased after Chen Chu by car. Fan Datong was also unwilling to turn into a pig like this and crawled into the curator's car, hoping to take advantage of it. Not far away, a beam of lights had already shone over. Damn it! Dinosaurs. It seems that the fossils in the museum are useful. Look there, that's the direction of the museum. It's already in a big fire. Take care of that dinosaur, eat him, and we will become dinosaurs. At such a moment, people are all going crazy. Driving started chasing Chen Chu. Chen Chu only sneered in his heart. Fortunately, I prepared in advance and transformed into a Tyrannosaurus rex. Otherwise, these crazy people will use their means to seize it. Pop 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 pop, a person peeked out of the car, holding a nail gun and constantly pulling the trigger. At this level, it's like tickling Chen Chu. The difference between one's own running speed and the speed of a car is still too obvious. Stop directly and then twist your body. The tail swept directly towards the nearest car being chased. Bang, the car deformed directly, then rolled on the ground, and after landing, a wisp of white smoke had already emitted from the front hood. Kill him. A black Land Rover collided with Chen Chu. Chen Chu raised his foot, then stepped down and stepped on the front cover of the car. Tong, the car flipped forward and then deformed on the ground, and the people inside didn't know what it looked like. DDA bus appeared from behind Chen Chu. The bus is already the largest in the city. The speed has increased to 80, and the impact force is incredibly powerful. Chen Chu is really angry. Originally, I just wanted to transform into a Tyrannosaurus rex and leave here to find my sister. But these people actually want to kill themselves. In my past life, I didn't fight or rob. If I lived for 3 years, I would die. In this life, I just want to become stronger and search for my sister, and I still have to be watched by you. Tong tong tong, the sturdy legs took big strides and then collided with the bus. Tong, Chen Chu's head hit the bus directly. The iron-clad bus is like paper paste, directly deformed and splashed with debris. Open your mouth wide, sharp teeth crazily tearing on the bus. Chi la, after a few bites, the bus had already fallen apart. Talent, the strongest bite force is 8 tons, and even an iron frame can crush you. After seeing this scene, those drivers dared not come forward. How could such a hegemon be so easily killed? Moreover, they do not have any powerful thermal weapons in their hands. Chen Chu leaped forward and, weighing 6 tons, stepped directly onto the broken bus, pressing it down like an iron cake. Turning his head, a cold and gloomy gaze swept over the crowd. I'll bite you to death. A car started and turned around directly. He gave up and didn't want to waste valuable time here. Then there's the second one, the third one. The curator looked at it. How could this work? The entire city of Yunhua, this Tyrannosaurus rex is the most powerful animal. With a glance, I saw the wet ground. That's the oil flowing out of the fuel tank after the bus was destroyed by Chen Chu. Fan Datong, do you want to change your life against the heavens? Think. Now that the popularization of animal husbandry has just begun, it's possible that after eating a powerful animal, you will replace the existing animal DNA on your body. So, I want you to go and hold him down now. Okay. Fan Datong ran down and 4 pig trotters ran towards Chen Chu. Chen Chu didn't even take a look at him. Boss, don't leave, please take me with you. Humph, I've told you before that you're the pig. Yes, I am a pig. I will still be a loyal pig to you in the future. The curator lowered the car window and then lit his shotgun towards a nearby car that was not far away. After the other party lowered the car window and looked at him, the curator gestured for the wet ground. Gasoline. Yes. As long as we unite and surround him, we can have roasted Tyrannosaurus Rex then. The person got off the car directly and opened the fuel tank cap. And he shouted to the surrounding vehicles, surround him. Eat him, we can become powerful dinosaurs. It's still Tyrannosaurus Rex. After seeing him open the fuel tank cap, others followed the direction of his fingers and looked at the ground where Chen Chu was located, and understood what that meant. For a moment, more than 10 cars started directly and formed a surrounding circle. Chen Chu's eyes twitched, it seemed that these people were not willing to give up easily. Get out of here, useless things. Don't, Chen Chu. For the sake of our colleague's performance, I'll lick your toes in the future. Buzzing, the first car with a fuel tank cap on has already rushed over. The curator grinned and then raised his gun before shooting. One shot directly hit the fuel tank. With a loud bang, a powerful wave of air rose up. Chen Chu felt a burning sensation. Bang! After the explosion, the vehicle directly ignited the gasoline on the ground. The other party never expected that they would become cannon fodder for the director. A big fire suddenly broke out, and Chen Chu jumped off the bus directly. Chen Chu, take me along. Do you still want to procrastinate? Damn it. With a single step, Fan Datong turned into a pork pancake. The evolution value on the brain panel began to change, 1/1000. Originally, killing an animal can earn 1 evolution point. Chapter 7. One Bite Down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the previous life, Chen Chu did not make this discovery. In his past life, he incarnated as a crocodile turtle, and if he could survive, he would endure. His evolution value remained almost unchanged. I just realized now that besides places where major disasters occur, you can also obtain evolution points through killing. It's just killing that cannot be obtained, animals must be killed. Bang! Another car with a gasoline cap was shot and exploded by the curator. The exploding car lifted directly and collided with Chen Chu. Chen Chu swayed his tail horizontally and pulled the vehicle towards the direction of the museum director like a baseball. The head of the museum is nearly 50 years old, but his skills are still agile, so he rolled on the ground twice. The other vehicles have already formed a circle, and when they suddenly turned just now, a lot of gasoline spilled out of the fuel tank. The curator fired a shot, triggering a series of explosions. A large fire circle surrounded Chen Chu. I don't know for sure. If you are an ordinary person, you will definitely not be able to break out of this fire circle, choked by thick smoke, until it burns into a pile of coke. But Chen Chu has now transformed into a Tyrannosaurus Rex that is 4 meters tall and 10 meters long. Taking huge steps, he rushed out of the circle of fire. Ah! A person who didn't have time to retreat died directly under a huge foot. Killing will not earn evolution points. But these people have angered Chen Chu, it's not enough not to kill them. This fire can't even harm that dinosaur, said one person. The director's face was gloomy. Not far from here, there is a gas station. Now he has a murderous heart, let's see if he can lead to the gas station and have a huge explosion. Do you still want us to be cannon fodder? I won't do it anymore, said another person, as their car was destroyed and they didn't want to continue. The curator raised his hand and directly smashed half of his face. That person fell to the ground and died instantly. I tell you. The world is in chaos now, and it will soon become a world of the fittest. If you don't fight, just wait to become the food for beasts. Ah! Chen Chu had already cleaned up the person on the other side and took a big step with a sudden leap. The curator saw a huge black shadow appear above the flames. Tong, a body weighing 6 tons fell, making the curator feel like they had experienced a small earthquake. At such a close distance, the curator cannot even perform such a simple action of swallowing saliva. Chen Chu's breath thumped against his face like a gust of wind. With a wide grin and an open mouth, 60 sharp and cold teeth were revealed. Let me tell you, eating animals that have been transformed from humans will not change. You. How do you know? Kachi. Chen Chu was too lazy to answer and moved quickly. He opened his mouth and bit the director in half. Half of the body with legs trembling incessantly, and feces and urine flowing together. Puff, the upper part of the body was vomited out of Chen Chu's mouth. I have no choice, my talent is the strongest bite force. Apart from biting people, it's either a tail sweep or relying on the body to crush them. Tyrannosaurus rex is a top predator, with the only drawback being the pair of 1-meter-long claws on its upper body. Although there is power, it is very weak. Eating. Cannibalistic. The person closest to the curator had already become so scared that his whole body softened. They finally realized it. When people go crazy, it's scary, but when a dinosaur goes crazy, what does a person count as? Run quickly. Chen Chu lowered his head and bit into the curator's car, then suddenly shook his head and shook it. Bang! A person was directly smashed into a patty by a car. Others are even more restless, wishing they could turn into a rabbit and run faster at this moment. Chen Chu transformed into a Tyrannosaurus rex and won the first round. Open your mouth and roar at the blood moon in the sky. Ah! The loud sound made all the animals transformed from humans tremble all over, which was a kind of suppression from bloodline. The chaos remains. Chen Chu began to run in this chaos, heading north. A small county town in the north, with its most important person waiting. Sister, you must hold on. Brother will come soon. Running all night, trampling on several animals that didn't have long eyes. Let Chen Chu's evolution value increase to 7/1000. The sky is hazy and bright. The blood moon in the sky, the red clouds have disappeared. Chen Chu felt exhausted. Start resting in a small forest. Following the trajectory of previous lives, a week later, there will be a crackdown. At that time, there will be a large number of surviving humans and a large number of highly lethal thermal weapons. I am still a flesh and blood body in my childhood, and bullets can withstand it for a while, but a few grenades probably make me hiccup. The defense today is not as strong as the crocodile turtle in the previous life. So, Chen Chu chose to rush through the forest path at night. So, after 2 days, Chen Chuda arrived in Tianhai City. It is less than 100 kilometers away from my birthplace, Changfeng County. Hold on for another day and you'll be able to find your sister. Chen Chu was already starving. Tyrannosaurus rex has a large appetite, with a daily weight gain of over 10 pounds. Under the moonlight, Chen Chu saw a supermarket in Tianhai City. It has been 3 days since the popularization of animal culture. More people have incarnated into animals. The law of the jungle has become the basic rule. On the streets under the darkness, there are vehicles colliding, exploding, and burning, as well as garbage everywhere. Animals appear. Chen Chu walked towards the supermarket, where there should be something to eat. Bang, bang, Chen Chu stepped on the damaged vehicle, and all the vehicles in front of him were crushed. Finally, we arrived at the entrance of the supermarket. Pa, the light outside the supermarket suddenly came on. Is there someone here? Whoosh, a mop pole, with a fruit knife tied to one end, was thrown directly from a window on the second floor. It's just a near miss, it got stuck on the ground. Chen Chu looked up and didn't even see a ghost. I'm just here to find something to eat. After finishing, I'll leave. If I want to stop you, I don't mind killing you. What a big breath, you can give it a try. A jarring sound came from inside the supermarket. Two monkeys opened the door directly, and then a big black water buffalo walked out with 4 hooves. After seeing Chen Chu, a hint of surprise appeared in his eyes. It's actually a dinosaur. No wonder there's such a big breath. The water buffalo is 1.8 meters tall and over 2 meters long, making it a very large animal. But in front of Chen Chu, he was like a child. A water buffalo, dare you tell me to give it a try? Behind the water buffalo, more animals appeared. The windows above opened one after another, and monkeys appeared one after another, holding things in their hands. A lot. As you can see, this area is our place. We have a large quantity, so we need a lot of food. Sorry, we don't have anything extra for you. Chen Chu grinned and revealed his chilly teeth, then I'll eat you. Chapter 8. Mutant Flying Dog. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Chu is not joking. In order to fill my stomach, I have the strength to search for my sister. In this world of the jungle, you will definitely eat this water buffalo, even if you have been transformed from a human. The water buffalo was not afraid of Chen Chu's threat at all. Its front hooves had already begun to pull on the ground, lowering its head to align the pair of hard horns on its head with Chen Chu. The animals behind rushed out. With numerous chickens and ducks, this supermarket is like a huge breeding ground. Old cow, wait. A monkey wearing a T-shirt shirt jumped directly from the second floor and landed on the back of a water buffalo. This monkey is still wearing clothes. Is it to preserve one's own human nature? Friend, you have also seen it. We have a large number of people here, and our daily food expenses are very high. It's none of my business. Okay, we can give you some food. Please leave immediately. If you eat, you must eat until you are full. Chen Chu took a step forward. With a thud. Make the weak animals behind feel a huge pressure. The monkey scratched its ears and cheeks. We have made concessions. You have also transformed from a human to an animal. Now that the world is in chaos and there is a shortage of food, we hope. Ah! Chen Chu spoke with a loud roar. I don't have time to chat with them here. Now you have to race against time to find your sister. Every second, her danger increases by 1 point. Step forward and prepare to rush in directly. At this moment, a few monkeys from behind came running over, chirping and running, followed by a few dogs. We're back. Get ready, the predators are here. The water buffalo and the monkey in the T-shirt looked noticeably nervous. Get ready for battle. When they ran over and saw Chen Chu, a huge Tyrannosaurus Rex, they were so scared that they stopped immediately. Chen Chu saw that these monkeys were all carrying a bag, which should have been taken from the supermarket. There was also a bag with exposed potato chips inside. The following dogs also carry bags on their backs, so they should all be food. It seems that this group of animals has formed a group, with animals dedicated to collecting food outside every day. Today, I happened to encounter them coming back. The monkey wearing a T-shirt immediately had an idea. Friend, if you can help us, we will make sure you have enough to eat. Chen Chu immediately understood that he was being asked to act as a thug. I don't have that leisure time myself. Ho-hote, you bastards, how dare you steal food from our territory? A dog with white pigeon wings flew over directly. There are also many animals following behind. Hee, I actually encountered a mutant here. However, it is only a variation of ordinary breeds, pigeons and dogs. Ah! A monkey was directly trampled on by Chen Chu, and then tore open his bag in one bite, swallowing everything inside. Then there is the backpack of the second monkey, and the third. The flying dog saw the situation and landed directly, folding its wings. How come there are still dinosaurs? A brown figure appeared, which was a brown bear standing up to 2 meters tall. So what about dinosaurs? They should still be juveniles now. Chen has already devoured all the food they stole. The brown bear rubbed its paw and said, if you've eaten our food, shouldn't you join us? Why? I can guarantee that you enjoy eating every day. The brown bear looked at the group of chickens and ducks behind the water buffalo, drooling. Chen had eaten almost enough, turned around and walked straight away. I don't mind trying the taste of bear paws. The group of animals behind the brown bear began to grit their teeth. The food stolen from their territory actually fell into Chen mouth, and he was the one who ate it and left. How could he bear it? Humph, if you don't join, then I'll accept you. Give it to me. 7 or 8 hunting dogs have already rushed forward, specifically picking and biting Chen feet. Ah! Chen stepped down and a hunting dog was trampled into a meat patty. With a sweep of their tails, the 2 hunting dogs flew out like burlap bags. Help him, the monkey in the T-shirt ordered. The things in the hands of the monkeys above were thrown towards each other like raindrops. The flying dog spread its wings and flew high into the air, biting on the arm of a monkey and dragging it out. Then it flew into the air and let go, causing the monkey to fall and die. The water buffalo let out a moo, then lit up its horns and collided directly with the brown bear. The brown bear sneered and slowly lifted one of its paws. As the water buffalo was about to charge towards him, bear paws fell. Bang! With a muffled sound, the water buffalo fell directly to the ground. Brain plasma has already seeped out from the 7 orifices. The monkeys wearing T-shirts were all surprised. I've been fighting with the other side a few times, but brown bears don't have such strength. How could a single blow kill a water buffalo now? Ha ha ha. The brown bear laughed heartily, you scumbags of the juvenile body. Today, let's let you feel the terror of the growth body. After Chen tail crushed a hunting dog, he turned his head to look. This brown bear has actually reached its growth stage. The great disaster of heaven and earth has not yet appeared, so there is only one possibility, which is that the evolution value of 1000 has been stacked through killing. My current evolution value is only 14/1000. So fast, in just a few days, there has been a growth body. It is precisely because of such indiscriminate killers that they lead to a major crackdown, causing undeveloped animals to die under gunfire. The brown bear was very proud and said, "Big dinosaur, join us. There's no need to work hard for these omnivores and herbivores. Together, we can definitely dominate here." Chen swallowed the dead hunting dog in one gulp. I'm full. You didn't give me face. Then I'll convince you. The brown bear ran over, then raised a pair of bear paws and fanned towards Chen turned around and used his tail. Bang! A collision. My own tail was actually blocked by the other person. This tail has 4 tons of power. After blocking Chen tail, the brown bear's confidence increased greatly. Even if you are a dinosaur, you are still a juvenile. The power of my pair of bear paws is 6 tons. Ow! Chen turned around to finish, opened his bloody mouth and bit at the opponent. The brown bear squatted low and then suddenly jumped up, striking Chen huge chin with a rising dragon fist. The monkey in the T-shirt began scratching his ears and cheeks again. The head of the predator was a famous kung fu master before turning into a brown bear. Now that it has reached growth, it is estimated that the big dinosaur is hanging. Chen head lifted slightly when he was hit by this punch. A pair of dark golden pupils were instantly filled with a murderous aura. The brown bear chuckled and said, "Did you wake up? Did you take it? Growth body. It's just a growth body of ordinary species. Today, let's show you the differences between species." Chapter 9. Killing Growth Bodies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sturdy legs suddenly exerted force and then teleported to the huge head. Open your mouth and bite. The brown bear rolled straight to the back. Bang, taking a bite, the ground was gnawed off. Boss, come on. Boss, take this dinosaur, this city is ours. The animals on the side of the brown bear have begun to cheer. The monkey wearing a T-shirt now dares not make any big moves. One is an ancient species, and the other is a growing body. Several people on our side were killed by that flying dog just now. The strongest fighting force, the big water buffalo, has also been beaten to death by a bear's paw. The brown bear stood up and said, "Have you all seen Kong Kong?" "I've seen it." "Do you know how the dinosaur we fought with Kong died?" "Open his mouth and twist his chin." "Ha ha ha. Then I'll give you a real version." "Ah." Chen Chu was really annoyed and quickly pounced on him, opening his mouth and biting. As a top predator, in terms of speed, this brown bear cannot compare. The brown bear really came to an on-site restoration. A pair of bear paws supported Chen Chu's mouth. Roar. Shout loudly and use your palms hard. At this moment, Chen Chu's eyes were filled with ridicule. Want to learn about King Kong versus dinosaurs? Unfortunately, you are just a brown bear. Bang bang, ah. Blood splattered and the brown bear screamed in pain. A pair of bear paws, surprisingly, have already been bitten off. Chen Chuluo chewed it with a bang. When we are human, we never have the opportunity to eat this precious bear paw. Today, I finally got it, playing Q. rounds. How could it be? I am a growth body. The power of my bear paw is 6 tons. You are just a juvenile body. Ah. I am a juvenile Tyrannosaurus rex. My bite force is 8 tons. The brown bear finally understood what the difference between species is. They are dinosaurs, ancient species. Even if it's a juvenile, it's not something that an ordinary species like myself can handle. Without 2 bear paws, stand up and run on both legs. Twisted and twisted, very comical. You guys hold on first. Chen Chu squatted down and then jumped suddenly. A body weighing over 6 tons jumped up directly and then fell down. One paw directly stomped on the brown bear to the ground. The brown bear's feces and urine sprayed out in an instant. Please spare your life. Please spare your life. I've said before, if you provoke me, the consequences will be very serious. A claw slowly penetrated into the brown bear's body. With just one swipe, the brown bear was already torn apart. Today, I also ate bear bile. Ah! With a scream from the brown bear, his courage was eaten. Afterwards, chi flowed like a thread, not far from death. Follow the animals of the brown bear and quickly flee. The monkey wearing a T-shirt cheered on one side. Friend. From now on, you can protect us. We search for food every day for you to eat. Pa Ji, Chen Chu stomped hard, causing the brown bear's body to explode. No time. After killing the brown bear, the evolution value unexpectedly increased to 114/1000. This is really a bit surprising. Killing an ordinary animal gives 1 evolution point, while killing a growing animal gives 100 evolution points. It's like leveling up against monsters in a game, where different monsters have different experience points. My stomach is already full and I'm about to set off. A monkey wearing a T-shirt ran over, with 2 monkeys carrying 2 bags behind them. Friend, this is food. I'm already full. Step open your legs and start running at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. That monkey, in the end, actually gave him food. To be clear is to not give up and have ideas. Immediately, the first round of suppression with only humans will begin, and animals like these occupying urban areas will be the main targets for cleaning up. Before evolution, facing thermal weapons of mass destruction was a dead end. Another night of rushing, Chen was very tired. Running at full speed is not sustainable. At this moment, it is less than 40 kilometers away from my hometown Changfeng County. The sky has already brightened. Chen was in a forest, and then he saw a convoy on the main road. How many tanks are left behind the convoy? My heart sank. The first round of human suppression is already on its way. Damn it, why did it happen at this time? Hiding still, I hope this team will leave immediately. But after driving for a few minutes, the other party actually stopped. Sir, why did you stop? Let's rest in place for 5 minutes and fill our stomachs, ordered a person with a star on their shoulder, and then lit a cigarette. A person brought a canned vegetable. Really special. Why do people turn into animals? If you want to be human, you can only be a vegetarian. Oh, yes. It doesn't taste like meat, it's not good. By the way, sir, why stop? Just received news that a highly threatening dinosaur has appeared here. Dinosaurs. Who really can eat dinosaur meat? The officer smiled and said, it must be fossils. Ancient animals have appeared in several places. Yesterday, a pterosaur in the southeast region destroyed a fighter jet. This is truly a disaster for us humans. Eat quickly. Go search later. After humans become animals, they can evolve. This highly threatening ancient animal must be strangled in its cradle before it evolves. Chen hid in the forest for 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, a fully armed team began searching. We can't stay here anymore. It seems like we have to take a detour. Get up and run towards the opposite direction. Wow. Having a large body, it is impossible to have no movement. The trees around make a noise. The other party immediately discovered it. I'll go. There are really dinosaurs. Kill him. Da-da-da-da, the machine gun began to shoot wildly, and the sawdust and soil flew over. Chen began to run rapidly. A tank, its barrel had already turned, and then a flash of fire appeared. Bang, a shell exploded directly beside him. Nima. Chen cursed in his heart and continued running in an S shape. Sir, that dinosaur has run away. The terrain ahead cannot pass tanks. I understand. After I report, I'll go to Changfeng County and meet up with another team. Avoiding the threat, Chen finally found a safe place to rest. Long-term running consumes a lot of physical energy. At night, we only started to rush. At 3 a.m., I finally arrived in Changfeng County. After all, it is a small county town, not a big city like that, and there are not many places that have been damaged. But to his surprise, the team chasing him in the morning was also there. Moreover, it has gathered more people. Damn it. In the previous life, it was a regret that I couldn't find my sister. Unexpectedly, one of the strongholds of the first round of suppression was actually this small county town. Chapter 10. Chen captured. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The first round of suppression was centered around the imperial capital and some first-tier cities, forming circles and spreading outward. Changfeng County is located at a point outside of a first-tier city. The remaining troops in various regions have been reassembled and reorganized. Concentrate firepower and jointly suppress. The most unhappy thing for Chen is that those residents who have not transformed into animals will move towards key protected cities. I don't know if my sister is still waiting for me. Chen had spent over half an hour circling up a mountain behind Changfeng County. Standing on the mountaintop, one can see the flames and explosions appearing below. The evil animals in this small county town have been mercilessly killed. Report, sir. All the rebellious animals have been killed. First, use a transport vehicle to transport a portion to the central city. Sir, many people have gone into hiding. Use police dogs and find everyone. The highest official lit a cigarette, and now he is feeling a headache. After midnight, the latest statistics have been released. The number of animalized people worldwide has reached over 4 billion. Moreover, this number is still rapidly increasing. People, it's really not enough at this time. Their goal is not only to kill the evil animals, but also to collect humans. Under the great upheaval, in order to suppress it, a strong military force is needed. The collected humans will be arranged to join the army and guard their homes. Police dogs kept shuttling through the county town, then searching for people hiding in basements, cabinets, and even wells. Don't pull me. Let go of me. A tender girl was pulled by a soldier. Walked up to the highest official. What's going on? Report, sir. This woman is a bit different. At first glance, the officer looked clean and didn't look like a person who had gone through chaos on the night of the New Year's Eve. Also, in the basement where she was hiding, we found a large amount of supplies. They were neatly arranged, all kinds were complete, and there was no meat at all. It was like being prepared. This is significant news for the officer. I was already prepared. You should know that the popularization of animal culture occurs at the turn of the new year. On those joyful days, no one would prepare to take refuge. Can you say that this woman already knew what was going to happen? Take it down first. Let go of me. I don't want to leave here. I can't leave here. A few minutes later, the information was already collected. Chen, a native of Changfeng County and a senior high school student in the county, has excellent grades and enjoys eating duck legs. The officer waved his hand and said, I like to eat duck legs. New Year, what I prepared in the basement is actually vegetarian. Hee, it's interesting. What other relatives are there? My parents passed away, and I also have an older brother, Chen. He works as a security guard at a first-class museum in Yunhua City. Yunhua City. It's quite chaotic. Take this woman to the central city. We'll have another trial later. In the back mountain. Chen closed his eyes and was trying to find a way. Then I heard a rustling sound. When I opened my eyes, there was still a faint phone light appearing. The first thing to rule out is the suppression forces. Get up in an instant and run quickly past. Big brother, are you sure we want to hide in this back mountain? What if we come here to search? Shut up. I know there's a cave here, as long as we. Before he could finish speaking, a large black shadow appeared before his eyes. Shake your phone in your hand, from bottom to top. From the claws, it reflected Chen Chu's face all the way. Oh my God. Dinosaurs. Help. Shut up. Otherwise, I'll eat you all. Chen Chu spoke. The two of them were stunned and could speak. That's the animal that has been transformed from humans. When did such an ancient animal like a cow break out of Changfeng County? Faced with such a huge creature, the two chose to be obedient and obedient. Who are you and why are you here? My name is Wang Jun, and he is my cousin, Wang Sheng. A troop has appeared in the county town and they will be taken away in batches. Why don't you go? This is the chaotic era of capturing strong men. Let's go to exile and fight against fierce beasts. We didn't want to go, so we escaped. So it's like this. Are you so sure? I overheard several high-ranking people talking. I also had to kill all the evil animals. Where will it be sent? The nearest central city, Beihai City. Chen Chu lowered his head and put immense pressure on the two of them. A claw on his chest directly touched Wang Jun's head. You, go help me inquire about someone now. Wang Jun was trembling all over, brother dinosaur, I finally managed to escape. Wang Sheng was hooked up by his claws and hung in mid-air. Wang Sheng's face turned pale in fear. Otherwise, I'll eat him. Brother, you want to save me. Dinosaur brother, what kind of person are you talking about? There is a girl named Chen in the basement of the 5th residential building on Dongxing Street. Okay, as long as you don't eat my brother, I'll go right away. Wang Jun threw down his bag and turned straight down the mountain. Brother, you must save me, Wang Xing said with tears in his eyes. Shut up. Chen Chu threw him directly onto the ground. This is also the only way out. What is needed now is to wait. The sky is gradually brightening. A team of suppressing troops has already appeared at the foot of the mountain. As one of the strongholds, it is important to investigate all the threats around you. Wang Xingdu looked panicked and said, Brother Dinosaur, let's hide first. It's not far from here, it depends on whether your cousin has the heart to save you. At the foot of the mountain, a motorcycle is driving wildly. The people who suppressed the troops all issued warnings after seeing it. Hey! Stop, don't enter the mountain. Where can Wang Jun listen? He drove straight into the mountains. Get him. Wang Jun threw the car and ran towards the mountain with all 4 limbs. Woo-woo. The police dogs leading the way were all purring and shrinking at this moment, unwilling to take any further steps forward. What's going on? The police dogs not leaving. In the mountains, there must be a problem. Police dogs are all rigorously trained and can even charge up and fight against tigers. But before entering the mountain, I was already scared and shrunk. This indicates that there must be even more ferocious beasts in the mountains than tigers. Wait in place for me to report. Tong tong tong, Chen Chu took big strides and ran, biting into Wang Jun's clothes and rushing up the mountain. With lightning speed all the way, Wang Jun's heart was about to jump out. Plush, release your grip and let him fall to the ground. Did you find it? Dinosaur brother, no. There's nothing empty in the basement. Impossible. Even if there's no one, do you have any supplies? No. Chen Chu grinned and a murderous aura burst out, didn't you go? Wang Jun sat paralyzed on the ground in fear, then took out a Pikachu doll that was only a dozen centimeters tall from his pocket. I found this one.